In this video, we'll go over the maintenance procedures on a power gear motorized hydraulic leveling system.
Maintenance. Maintenance is a vital part of any component system. If you cannot perform maintenance, the life of your system will dwindle greatly. So, for maintenance on the power gear leveling system, we'll start with check and fill the reservoir with the jacks fully retracted. So you'll want to make sure that your tank is filled with that ATF fluid up to the fill line. Now, if you no longer have that sticker, make sure you're within that 3/4 inch of the top of the reservoir to make sure you have ample enough fluid to activate that bobber switch. Inspect and clean all hydraulical pumps, electrical connections every 12 months. So that's all those wire harnesses, everything going up to those leg valves, the controller. You're going to want to check your electrical connections every 12 months or more often if you're using this RV more often. Now, if you do not do that, those electrical connections can corrode or become damaged just from lack of maintenance. Remove dirt and road debris from jacks as needed. So since these are exposed to the elements as you're driving your coach, they can collect dust, dirt, debris, sticks, leaves, whatever road debris your tires are kicking up while driving, and you'll want to remove those as needed. If your jacks are down and exposed to the elements for a period of time of a week or more, you're going to want to make sure that you spray those with a silicone lubricant. If you are exposing them in an intense condition, like within coastal areas or in areas where they are laying salt on the road to prevent ice buildup, you're going to want to spray those more often to prevent damage. And lastly, you'll want to grease that grease fitting at the bottom of the spring returns jacks with a lithium grease every 20 to 30 uses. Let's jump over to our mock-up and see what these look like. As always, make sure you have your protection gear anytime you're doing any maintenance or service to your systems. Since we're working on a hydraulic system and using grease, things can get pretty messy. And always safety glasses. So here at the bottom of this jack, you can see this grease fitting right at the bottom. So you'll take your gun, attach it at the bottom, and pump. And you do not want to overfill this with that lithium grease because it will leave a residue along that chrome rod, and you don't want that affecting your system or getting into that hydraulic fluid. Next, we'll spray our chrome rods with our silicone lubricant. To do that, we'll have to extend our jack. Now, it's important to note that when you're doing any maintenance or service on your leveling system, that you always have safety in mind. So if you're doing service, make sure you have jack stands in place because these are not a substitution for jack stands, and if they fail, you can get seriously hurt. You'll take your silicone spray, spray those chrome rods, and wipe off the excess everywhere. And lastly, these are all the electrical connections that will need cleaned regularly because they can be exposed to the elements and you don't want corrosion or any debris building up on these. The last and probably the most important thing that we're going to go over is safety. Now, the safety of this system is very important and critical because you don't want to use this leveling system as a way to maintenance your coach. So you don't use it to lift up in place of jack stands and replace tires. And then you never check for hydraulic fluid leaks with your hands or any exposed body parts because you can get hurt from that pressure of the fluid. Second to last, keep people clear of the coach prior to turning the leveling system on and operating. I mentioned many times that you want to make sure that your coach is on a flat level surface, that if you need to, place your weight distribution pads out, and then level your coach and make sure everybody is inside, seated, and your slide outs are in. Never lift the wheels of your coach off the ground because doing so can cause unstableness inside your coach, and if one of your jacks do happen to fail, your coach can be damaged or somebody can get hurt. And then, as always, wear safety glasses, gloves, or any PPE you need while servicing a coach.